Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Trust you are well on this glorious Monday morning. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful here in the Tampa Bay area. It is 82 degrees, and the humidity is almost non-perceptible for us anyway. It may be 105%, but for us, it's pretty much non-perceptible. Uh, let's get started with our Monday. Um, when you have a headline that says 13-year-old transgender athlete sues the state to compete against girls, what you're sure of, the 13-year-old isn't suing anybody. The 13-year-old student didn't decide. The seventh grader didn't decide. I'll sue them. The 13-year-old is being used. Here's the story. A 13-year-old boy, is suing the state of West Virginia over a law that bans him from competing on a girls' cross country team at his middle school. He's in seventh grade. According to NBC News, the student Becky Peppa Jackson began the legal battle back in May of 2021 when he was 11, when he was in fifth grade. This occurred shortly after Governor Jim Justice signed legislation prohibiting transgender students from competing on teams that align with their gender identity instead of their biological sex. Well, basically, Governor Justice said, no, boys will compete with boys and girls will compete with girls. It's insane that we are here, but we are here, and if we are here, we have to fight. You know, this should be one of the hills that you die on. This is not one of these like, well, okay, well, I'm not gonna die on this hill. Yeah, we're gonna die on this hill. Becky has been allowed to run on her school's cross country team and throw discus and shot put on the track field team since the appeals and courts reinstated the previous injunction against the law in February. The state of West Virginia appealed the verdict to the Supreme Court, which in April rejected reinstating the ban during the lawsuit. Becky's mom, Heather, and Becky said Becky will often stay late at track and field practice. Sometimes she'll even practice discus and shot put in their backyard in the rain. What's that have to do with the price of tea in China? If he wants to practice that much and be that good at discus and shot put, then he needs to practice, lift weights, get a coach, and then compete with the boys. This is what Heather says. She likes to do the best in everything, be it algebra or running or shot put or discus. She tries to excel in everything that she does, just like any other kid. Yeah, Becky, 13-year-old Becky Pepper Jackson is a boy. In a hearing on at the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals on Friday, Lindsay See., the Solicitor General for West Virginia, reportedly argued that the district court, in ruling in favor of the law, got it right that sports is a uniquely strong case for differences rooted in biology, and call for sex-based distinctions to help ensure an equal and fair playing field. Now, Judge G. Stephen Agee said, I want to thank all counsel for their argument today, realizing we're probably only a way station on the way to the Supreme Court. In recent years, over 20 states have passed legislation restricting biological males who believe they are transgender from playing in women's sports. In 2022, this was all brought to light with the Will Thomas BS, a dude competing on the swim team at the University of Penn. After competing against men for 3 years, predictably, Thomas robbed women of awards and opportunities. So what we found out is that a below average male swimmer dominated in female swimming on that level. a below average, a, a below average male swimmer. Dominated. What? Are you surprised? I'm surprised? No, because we're not stupid. Folks, this is the hill that we need to die on. This breaks down every foundation. This breaks down every basic foundation. In addition, many states have passed legislation prohibiting minors from accessing transgender care. And last month, a quote, transgender 9-year-old sued 9-year-old. The 9-year-old didn't do anything. It's the parents. It's the parents who are abusing these children for access to, quote, so-called gender-affirming medical care, which includes irreversible experimental hormone treatments, puberty blockers, and sex reassignment surgery. A 9-year-old. A 9-year-old. A fourth grader. Where are the fathers? Where are the men? Where are the men? The men. Maybe I shouldn't even say fathers. I should say, where the hell are the men in these children's lives? How are you letting this happen to them? If you're anywhere around them, if they are still your children, where are you? What are you doing? Awful. What's going on? It's terrible. Yes, and this is a hill that we will die on here at townhall.com. If we get shut down on YouTube, on Rumble, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, we will never, ever back off of this point. Ever. Ever. All right. The Republican field has gotten a little thinner. No, and I don't mean that that Chris Christie has found Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers. That's not what I mean at all. Former Vice President Mike Pence has dropped out of the 2024 presidential campaign, stating that it's, quote, not my time, which is a very, very well used Republican term when you overstep. Somebody forces you into it, and then you find out that you don't have the support you never had the support. And I know personal Willie knows that, experiencing it personally. And the hard part for me about this is that when Mike Pence showed up and was the running mate of Donald Trump, Mike Pence had been governor of Indiana. Mike Pence had pushed back on the LGBTQ agenda there, and was staunchly pro-life. And I thought this was a yin yang situation as far as personalities go. Trump would be the guy out front whipping people into a frenzy, and Mike would be the guy behind the scenes, sort of making it all happen. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what, in every situation, it's kind of be like that. It's got to be the person out front who's just whipping it up and just going bananas, apes, just whipping it all up. And then the guy behind the scenes, or the team behind the scenes, making all that stuff happen. And I was under the impression that that was a good combination. And at some point, once things got rolling in a good direction, and they were moving that direction, and they were, that then Trump would stand down, bring in Mike Pence. We get 8 years of Trump, 8 years of Pence. The country, the republic, is saved as much as it could be saved. Of course, that did not happen. So on Saturday, Pence announced that he would not pursue his presidential ambitions as his campaign runs low on money. And what have I told you? The blood of campaign is money. You know, and a lot of people say, well, we should take your money out of politics. How? And how would you know? And how would you know about the new city council candidate if they couldn't buy signs? Maybe get a little radio time. How would you know? How would you know about that person who wants to run for mayor? Who's I don't know, he works at a car wash or he owns a car wash. How would you know if there was no money in politics? How would you know? How would you know? You would only know what media would let you know. Anyway, well, on Saturday, he announced that he would not pursue his presidential ambitions anymore. And the Republican Party is moving in a different direction than his values. Is it really? Well, maybe, because I believe that Pence's values are get along to get along, make it work. And he was not the staunch conservative that a lot of us thought he was. He's not the one who will say, this hill I'll die on. He's not that guy in Washington. He said this, I came here, and this is quoted to Mike Pence, I came here to say it has become clear to me that it is not my time. He said that at the annual Republican Jewish Coalition convention. So after much prayer and deliberation, I've decided to suspend my presidential campaign effective today. Pence spokesman Devin O'Malley said the conflict in Israel is a microcosm of what Pence has been evangelizing regarding populism and traditional conservative values. Adding that the RJC provided him one last opportunity to make the case and do so in front of a supportive audience. Jewish Republicans, and I'm going to stereotype here. I want to stereotype hard. So please forgive me. I warned you. I'm going to stereotype hard. I'm going to pigeonhole firmly. Basically, Jewish Republicans are the quote moderate Republicans, maybe even some of the progressive Republicans, the Pence, the Jeb Bushes, that level of Republicans. The problem is that because there was so little distinction between quote moderate Republicans, establishment Republicans, progressive Republicans, and Democrats, that made the earth fertile for a Trump. Keep telling you all that. I just it's so easy for me to see. And then of course it doesn't help that Trump absolutely incorrectly, I'm gonna keep saying this, because this doesn't make me popular with the Trump crowd. This is when I post this video and I watch my subscriber number drop. This is what happens here. Incorrectly blames Pence for certifying the 2020 election results on January 6th. Yeah. His positions and experience did not attract DFG voters to his side, with rank and file members of the pro-Trump party turning on Pence as he certified the 2020 election because they incorrectly made assumptions or were told that Pence could stop it. Pence was nothing but a figurehead. The president of the Senate is a figurehead in that process. Can't legally, constitutionally do anything. So Pence did exactly what he was supposed to do. Now, that didn't make the pro-Trump crowd happy. No, not at all. Because they were being told by people, they're being told by a lot of people incorrectly. They're being lied to that all this now fell on Pence. It did not. It never fell on Pence. It never fell on Pence, ever. Even people like Rudy Giuliani, who knew better. And this is a problem. Whenever you have something that's based on a lie, an untruth, then you are in shaky territory. But this is when the pro-Trump part of the party turned on Mike Pence. Instead of turning all that energy on what they really believed the problem was at the time. And they still haven't. And they still haven't turned all that energy on what frankly was some iffy behavior around the country. Iffy. Needs more looking into sort of behavior around the country. All that anger is still directed towards Pence. It's kind of foolish. Pence's campaign with this latest finances filing showing that they're $600,000 in debt, and with only $1.2 million on cash on hand, after scrambling to meet the donors' threshold for the first two Republican debates. But making the stage, the campaign was unable to gain the 70,000 individual donors it needs for the third. Pence often acknowledges how the Republican Party is changing away from his views and values as a traditional conservative. No, as a traditional Republican. Those two terms are not interchangeable. And that the only time will tell if the GOP will return to the common sense conservative agenda. What did I tell you? Whenever somebody uses the term common sense, it sort of just diminishes or denigrates anything else anybody else is thinking. So we need is common sense. No, what the Pence wing, which is the same wing as the Jeb Bush wing of the Republican Party, are saying we need to be in charge because we are the people who are in the compromise. And what have I said to you about compromise? Whatever you compromise to keep, you will lose. And now we have some people who are just not going to compromise. They're just not going to. They're just not going to compromise. They're going to stand firm on their values. It's it's a shame. Mike Pence put a lot of time in. But that wing of the party set this, and I'll say this one more time, set the stage for what they are experiencing. They set the stage for their own demise. They didn't listen. They listened to each other, and they did not listen to each other and the press, and not their constituency. That was their undoing. All right. We'll take a little break. We'll be back with more of the Morning Report. That is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. We'll be back right after this.
What's going on, Tampa? Jeff Dow from JD's Pressure Washing here again, and we wanted to share something really cool with you that we're going to be doing that you can be a part of. Tampa is home to 21,000 veterans. We all love our vets, and being one myself, we wanted to find a way that we could give back. So here's what we're going to do. For every 10 jobs that we do that are $300 or more, we're going to do one veteran home for free. Now, when I say home, we're talking house wash, driveway, sidewalks, and perimeter fence if they have one. So I need your help with exposure on this so that we can get the jobs that we need as well as the veteran homes to clean, which is going to be a total surprise for them. We're going to show up, knock on the door, and let them know right then and there in the moment what it is that we're going to be doing for them. It is going to be pretty cool. And here's a bonus offer for all of you who help us with this. We're also going to offer 15% off all cleaning that's over $300 just to say thanks. So if you could do me a huge favor, like, comment, and share this video so that we can get the word out and start cleaning homes of veterans right here in Tampa.
All right, let's finish up here. It's been a tough broadcast here. We've got lots of stuff going on. The main thing that's happened that and I'll just tell you, my coffee cup that I got from my friend Greg from Premier One driver, the handle broke off right before the first segment and dropped coffee on the lap, on the floor, on my feet. Yeah, I edited that out. You didn't see that. And then went to change clothes with my pants and found out that the pant that I put on and that I was planning on wearing today, the zipper's broken. Yeah, yeah. So I'm about to throw those away too. Believe me, I am not making any money from YouTube or Rumble or anywhere else. I think I'm down to like 2 pair of pants, well, 3 pair of pants. I got a number of shirts, but I just don't have any pants. So hopefully, for Christmas, and if I do get my other channel monetized, I can make a little money and buy some pants. And the thing is that and it's crazy, but I haven't grown out of my pants. Like they're not too small; they're all kind of too big. And now the cat is up, my co-host, so you're probably going to hear her yell in just a few seconds because she wants to go get lunch. All right. A group of angry anti-Israel protesters stormed a Russian airport, searching for passengers from a flight that departed from Tel Aviv. On yesterday, an airport in the city of Makhalichala, I destroyed that pronunciation, shut down after rioters flooded the runway, chanting anti-Israel remarks. According to the Russian Aviation Authority, and all aircraft headed towards that airport were diverted as the clash with protesters pursued. The Israeli Broadcasting Corporation reporter Amshai Stein said that the group of Jews and Israelis were, quote, isolated at the airport during the protest. Demonstrators were heard yelling Allah Akbar, which means God is great, and some anti-Semitic slogans. The state of Israel views gravely attempts to harm Israeli citizens and Jews anywhere. The foreign minister of Jerusalem said in his statement, Israel expects the Russian law enforcement authorities to safeguard all Israeli citizens and Jews, whoever they may be, and to take robust actions against the rioters against the unbridled incitement being directed at Jews and Israelis. Ukrainian President Zelensky condemned the riot, saying that the protest was not an isolated attack, but rather a part of Russia's widespread culture of hatred towards other nations. The Russian foreign minister has made a series of anti-Semitic remarks in the last year. The Russian president has also used anti-Semitic slurs. He said, for instance, the Russian propaganda talking heads on official television, hate rhetoric is routine. Even the most recent Middle East escalation prompted anti-Semitic statements from Russia ideologists. Russia has to keep their lips firmly planted on the butts of the Hamas, all those people, all those arrows, because of what? Well, that's why. Foreign affairs expert Rebecca Koffler told Fox News Digital that protests could have been a big issue for Russian President Vladimir Putin if the situation had not been contained. It's happening everywhere. And if you think about this little bitty strip of land, little bitty strip of land, maybe, hmm, maybe it's more than that. Yeah, I talked about Christmas a little bit ago, but you guys remember Charlie Brown Christmas, where Charlie Brown gets on the stage and asks, "Does anybody really know what the meaning of Christmas is?" And Linus tells him. Maybe some of us should get on the stage and say, "What is the meaning of this?" And then maybe someone will tell us. We got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye bye now.